Okay, here we are at a screenshot of eSword, and it's going to be a brief lesson on some of the features of it, but particularly I'm aiming at how we're going to do use it to do a word study. So what we have in this section here is a number of the translations that are available from eSword that you can add to the original download. And it's not within the scope of how to install them, but I just want to explain what these all are. And the one that isn't available is the NIV, because NIV is copyrighted. You can get it for this, I believe, but there's a fee involved. Okay, so if you just have the default installation, you will have just the King James version. And you also have the King James Plus, which is King James Version with strong numbers. So I'm here at the verse that we're looking at, Genesis 1:14, and God said, "Let there be lights in the firmament of the heavens to divide the day from the night, and let them be for a sign and for seasons and for days and years." Now when we go to the King James Plus, what you see is there are numbers behind every major significant word, and what that represents is a number assigned to the Hebrew word that was translated into English. So here we have the Hebrew word for lights and then firmament, heaven, etc. Now when we get to seasons, it has a definition here. You can click on it and go down a little bit so we can see it. Oop. Here's the Hebrew, the transliteration, how it would be pronounced, its root. Okay, and here's a definition. Now keep in mind this is, scholars' definitions, and it's properly an appointment that is a fixed time or season, specifically means specifically a festival, conventionally a year, by implication an assembly, technically the congregation, by extension a place of meeting, etc. You can read that on your own installation, hopefully. So here we have the King James saying that it's for seasons, yet everything in this definition sounds like it's festival, feast, synagogue. Now here is season, but we use the word season like Christmas season. Okay, Christmas time might be another thing. So season here seems to, at least initially, seems to be in that context. But reading this, planting by the moon and by the seasons, it almost sounds like an agricultural term. Nothing to do with holidays. So when we discovered this, we went and let's look at some of the others. Greek New Testament. Let's see, American Standard Version. There it is again. Seasons. Here's the Old King James in 1611. Seasons. Literal translation. Seasons. So saying literally seasons. Modern King James Version. Seasons. Revised Version. seasons. Young's literal translation. Seasons. So as you see now, what we have is overwhelmingly it was translated seasons, but as you saw in the Gateway Bible, the NIV, Gateway Bible website, and in the NIV, they translate it for sacred times. Quite a difference, but it sounds like it down here, doesn't it? Place of meeting, assembly, congregation, feast. Okay, so let's look for other places that the word shows. So we need to copy this number. And you go to this little thing here, click on it, and it populates it for you. Click here. Okay, here's all the places in the Bible where that Strong's number, or that Hebrew word, comes in. See, it's got the same definition that we were looking at. So this is the same word used. So let's look at some of the context. And what I'm looking for is there anything related to agriculture? Here's Isaac and Sarah talking about a set time when he was to be born, I guess. At the time appointed, I will return unto thee according to the time of life. Again, it's an appointment. Age, it's at the time at which God had spoken to him. Here's the word land, but the Lord appointed a set time, saying, tomorrow the Lord shall do this thing in the land. So that's not agriculture. Here's a place where it's again translated season. Thou shalt therefore keep this ordinance in this season from year to year. Well, that's an appointed time, and we'll want to make a note of that verse. Exodus 13:10. There's quite a few. That's how you can go through and look through all these verses. Here it's translated congregation, 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 congregation. I haven't seen anything yet where this is tied to a planting season or time to plow or harvest season or anything like that. Here, the harvest moon, congregation. Overwhelmingly seems to be congregation, time of coming together. Okay, there's enough of them there to keep all of us busy. So now you know how to do a search for a Strong's number using eSword. Study and go through that and see if there's anything we missed.